following is brought to you by Concrete Wave, the only TV show that can truly advertise all skateboarding every week. Included in this Concrete Wave special presentation, Pierre-Luc Gagnon, Rob Sluggo Boyce.
No, anybody can skateboard. You don't need anybody but yourself and a skateboard.
A variety of 101s, including the Heel Flip Indie Grad. And the opening of the Shaw Millennium Park in Calgary, Alberta. First, let's hear a word of advice from some of skateboarding's top names.
Keep it simple, stay positive. You know, like I said, don't analyze things, just go out and do them, try anything. Don't be afraid to do anything, just, you know, be positive, be confident in yourself.
Just skate to have fun, try and be positive. You know, sometimes this might not be your sport, but there's something else, but as long as you're having fun, that's what counts.
I was happy to say that it's very fulfilling seeing so many people have so much fun with skateboarding and urethane wheels, and I do not believe that skateboarding is a crime, but skateboarders be careful not to become too destructive.
Just keep going at it even when it gets hard. Just, you know, don't get discouraged. Keep it up.
I think the best thing you can do for somebody just starting out skateboarding or somebody's new to, this young is just to skate and have fun and tear it up and try more radical things all the time. And they're lucky they're young. When they fall, it doesn't hurt as bad as when you're old and falls. I'm jealous of you guys.
If you're starting skating, just, I don't know, do it for fun and don't worry about doing it as a job because it just ruins it.
If you put everything into something that you like, it can work out. That's it. But the most important thing is, at the same time as doing that, is enjoying it. So if you can learn to do those things, you'll be very happy skateboarding.
Just skate and have fun.
Have fun, yeah, it's all about fun, really. Don't take it too seriously, just have fun. Try not to get frustrated.
I'm Mike Rector, and I'm encouraging you to skate safe, wear your gear, and have fun.
All right, just have fun, guys.
Lance Mountain, and it's LanceMountain, like a mountain.
I started skating in 1975, and we had our first ramps in 1978, and we started going to the parks, but they're fairly far away, so we were pretty much riding the ramps.
Actually, it was a friend down the street. He was 4 years older than me, and there was like 4 of them, and he used to skateboard, I guess, and he got a new board and he gave me it. And I pretty much followed everything he did. So I started skateboarding when I was like about 10.
I was with this guy named Lee Ralph, who's from New Zealand, and I was like, hey, look what I got, and I broke out, I have this folder that I had since I was a little kid of all the pictures on my wall, and I still have them in a folder. And it's just all Alva, Jay Adams, you know, Shogo, Bobby Valdez, fake autographs on them and everything. So that's where my heart is, but you can't live there. But my heart can live, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, oh, it's rad. Just being a little kid. But I open the magazine now and look at Costin or Jamie Thomas, and I'm like, those pictures are going on my wall too. So I think it's just, my heart lies in being a little kid, like still being a kid, looking up to everybody. Like, that's what I don't know, I love other skaters, they're just the best.
My all-time favorite is Steve Cavallero.
The difference between the Dogtowners and the skate park kids is an era that's really as much difference as this is going on right now. The kids that skated street, they're full-on real street skaters. There's no more of those really anymore. This whole crew that's growing up now is going to be skate park kids. Simple, old school, new school is, I would say the break is when the Ollie came in. All the pressure of being alongside those good guys made me want to do good again. Well, I was friends with Cab, Steve Cavallero, because he was the best. And so I purposely made friends with him so I could go skate with him. So I wanted to be around the best. Yeah, I'm sure all of it has affected me in some way, and I brought it even if I don't know it. I think there's certain things that I purposely tried to bring, and one of them is the way Stacy and Stesic wanted to create an interesting, exciting, like, aura or kind of thing around us. The kid today that looks back and goes, oh, you're old school, he's going to be old school tomorrow. Because it keeps going.
Hello, this is Ed Templeton and Jeff. Look at Jeff over there icing his ankle. And you're watching Concrete Wave.
I would say the break is when the ollie came in, and when you started learning how to ollie into every trick.
I started skateboarding when I was like 14 years old, and I went to local contests in my neighborhood in Hollywood, Florida, and then they built a skateboard park called Skateboard USA in 1976, and I started skating there. Well, I came up with the trick, the ollie, because the skateboard park I was skating at called Skateboard USA, it was so kinky and over vertical that when you enter the lip, it kind of sucked the board to your feet. And then I started jumping out of one bowl into another, and the board kind of stuck to my feet. And then used to land on top of the lip and slide, and then come back in. And after about 6 months or so, I learned how to jump back in the pool. An ollie is when you kick the back of the board to the tail, just about touches the ground, and make the board jump off the air all by itself with nothing holding you to the board, and come back down. In the old days, people used to look for Velcro, and they looked for, you know, hooks on the skateboard. They couldn't believe you could actually do it this way. I was really little, and I talked real fast, and I skated real fast, and my nickname was Ollie. And when people saw me do it, they'd go, oh, Ollie, you know? So you hit the wall and pop up. They used to call it an Ollie Pop at first, and the pop part disappeared, but it used to be an Ollie Pop because I'd slap the back of the board against the coping and fly out, or against the bowl and fly out of the bowl. And it took like a year for anybody else, once I started doing it, to even do it. I don't know if I could still do the ollies they do nowadays. Jumping over fire hydrants and stuff, you know, I think that's pretty insane. I kind of like my private parts, you know? It's really funny to see people do ollies now on TV and everything, and they call it the ollie. And people who are in their 30s, they know who Alan Gelfand is usually. But people who are in their 20s or 17 or lower, they have no idea if you hear the word Alan Gelfand. But if you say somebody in their 30s, Alan Ollie Gelfand, they go, oh yeah, Alan Gelfand, that was the guy who invented the ollie air. It's pretty funny.
My name is Neil Headings. This is my son Marcus Andrew Headings. Hanging out at Ocean Beach Skate Park, getting some morning runs in. This is fun because you go hella fast, still blast hella high. It's just all fun, man, skating.
Here we are at OB Skate Park called Log Field in Southern California, San Diego. Some of the obstacles here are very good for skateboarding. You have the bowls with the embedded in metal coping, good to execute long grinds. You have your rails over here, which are very good for the technical slides, long rail slides, with your ledge next to it, to satisfy any type of skater. Of course, you got your hips, very good for executing any type of airs, grinds, varials, pretty much just endless tricks. This here is what we call a nipple. You can see there's several of them around the park. It's a very good obstacle to work your speed off of.
Next up, Paul Schmidt explains how to make a skateboard.
Hard maple is the wood of choice for skateboards. It's hard, it's dense, it's durable. It's pretty much been the standard for skateboard construction since about 1978. Okay, the average skateboard's laminated with 7 plies of hard maple veneer. So you can see here a whole stack of skateboards are being drilled. And then all this excess wood is taken away and either ground up for fertilizer or turned into boiler fuel to create electricity.
see over here, now he's starting to process them one by one, and he's shaping the final shape into the skateboard. Now see, the board still isn't finished yet. You can see the corners are really rough and square. Wouldn't want to get dinged in the ankle by that corner, that's for sure. You can see they're taking and rounding an edge round. Now look at that, that's all round now. A lot more friendly for an ankle dinger, but still it's not smooth, it's not perfect, it's still a little rough. So now we're gonna go on to edge standing. Well, we'll edge stand the shape of the skateboard. Now you can see the skateboard he just finished. You can see how smooth the edge is. And this whole thing is all detailed out. Now someone's gonna inspect this, make sure everything's okay, and then they're gonna go in here and put a sealer coat on it. Now notice everything's nice and friendly in here. Everything's water-based, it's all environmentally correct. It just felt smooth, now it feels rough again. So now we're gonna go back and hand sand it to make it totally smooth. And all this hand detailing that he's doing here is gonna make it totally smooth again. And now we're here, we're clear coating the skateboard. This is the final part that seals everything in. It helps it slide when you're out doing rail slides or tail slides and stuff like that as well. Then over here for a final cure, these skateboards are going through a dryer with the UV light in there. So after they come out of the dryer here, they get packed up on a pallet and take it over to the screen shop, put graphics on them.
Now for our first 101, a couple of flatland tricks.
Okay, things to remember when you're doing a backside 180 is you're going to turn your hips a little bit before your whole upper body will turn before you do a backside 180. It's like popping a big ollie, but make sure you tuck in nicely, suck up with your feet, twist with your hips. Best way to keep it in mind. Backside 180. Good. A little rough, but good enough. Okay. Let's go get a few more 180s. Look into some of the hottest weather we've ever had in Canada. So the front side 180 is similar to the back side, but you're turning your front forward a little easier to see where you're going. Not as bad. Oh, a little stiff. Do another one. Like a back side, but you're turning the other way. Try here is a 180 flip. It's a nice looking kick when you can get it. It's not too hard. It's like a kick flip with your front foot. Once you flip the board, as you pop it, simultaneously you want your back foot to scoop around and flip the board 180. You don't want to go 180, just the board. And a kick flip at once. It's nice when you get these, they feel nice and meaty. 180 kick flip. Not popping it. Pop it. That's the baby. The harder you pop it, the higher it goes, the more chance you get. There you go. Right on camera. Did you get that, do you think? That's it. It's the end of the day. I don't got no more of those. Landing on your bolts usually helps prevent this. I think I landed on my tail a little too hard, but...
One, two, bling, bling.
Boing.
My name is PL Gagnon from Montreal, Canada. I'm 20 years old and I skate vert. Now I'm living in Encinitas, California. The main difference between the skating in Montreal and California is that here we usually skate during the afternoon outdoor, and in Montreal we were always skating at night indoor. That's the main difference, and there's way more people to skate with in Encinitas. There's a really big vert scene around here. Usually when I'm in California, I wake up and I make a bunch of phone calls. I try to go see my sponsors, things like that, you know, like business. And then I try to go to the YMCA skate park around 2 in the afternoon to practice. I come back at my house, eat dinner, and spend some time with my girl. The first vert ramp I dropped in was the blue Boucherville vert ramp. I was like 9 or 10 years old. I was pretty scared, but made it. Usually when I want to learn a trick, I think about it for a few days, sometimes a few weeks before I try it. And I try to visualize the trick, and then I just go on the ramp and try it, see how it feels. It's all in the mental. For me, skateboarding is like an art form. It's a way to express myself, you know? And I think everyone skating reflects their personality. I think we're like the pioneer of skateboarding in Eastern Canada because we're the first guys who made it up there, you know? And I think it's a really good inspiration for the kids. They can look up to us and they can see that it's still possible to make it out of Montreal.
For the past 3 years, KC Projects has supported amateur skateboarding, promoting over 30 contests, demos, and champs with participants from East Coast Canada. Previous competitions have included big names such as Dan Pajot, Eric Mercier, and Casey McDonald. KC Projects has also held qualifiers for the Vans Warped Tour. It is the intent of these events to create a safe skating environment and opportunity for skaters to hone their skills in a competitive atmosphere. This past June at the Blainville Arena, again the competition was strong, including a 3rd place run by Montreal's Cal Brosseau, a 4th place run by Orangeville, Ontario's Andrew Gordon, and 1st place going to Eric Lemay of Montreal. contest was emceed by Pierre Bérubé, and head judge was Eric Mercier. Following the competition, the course was open to participants and spectators, offering an opportunity for skaters to push their limits and the boundaries of the course. And, as is usual, the skaters are creative in what obstacles define the course.
The originator of board graphics, Wes Humston.
Jim and I came up with the skateboard at Dogtown, so we just called it Dogtown Skates. The cross had already been established as the logo or the trademark, and we just threw the banner on there and added the skates. Our stuff was kind of a branch off from surfing, and you know, all the influences I had were people that came out of surf magazines, you know, or guys that, you know, I used to work at the old Jeffo surfboard shop. Craig Stasic, there's guys down there, Dana Wolf, you know, different artists who'd come through, Kevin Kaiser, all kinds of friends of mine that used to draw. What I do now, just, you know, full boards, one kick with doing artwork.
Stay tuned on Mike Crum. You're watching Concrete Wave. My name's Kevin Denman from London, Ontario. Okay, I'm gonna do a frontside flip. It's basically like a kick flip. You just loop the tail underneath a little bit, turn your shoulders with it. That's it. It's basically like a kick flip. You just loop the tail underneath a little bit, turn your shoulders with it, and that's it. I'm gonna do a half cab nose manual. Just ride up fakie, pop a frontside half cab to a nose manual. That's it, all there is to it. Ride up fakie, pop a frontside half cab to a nose manual. That's it, all there is to it.
My favorite skate park, I like skating Vans in Orange, the Block.
The old Jeff Phillips skate park in Dallas was good.
Why?
No, just where I grew up skating with all my friends.
Everywhere I go, there's always something there that's good. Yeah.
Ashland, Oregon. It's the southern part of Oregon. They've put actually 3 parks within 15 miles. They're all public cement parks.
Vans has got the best parks, though. I mean, you guys have seen this is the top of the line. They've got the biggest skate parks in the world here.
We don't want to talk about where they are because then everybody will be there. They're basically big, huge flood control channels with 40-foot banked walls with slight downhill inclines. So you could drop in, go up a 30-foot wall, come down, and by about the third pump, you're up to 30, 35 miles an hour.
Hi, I'm Toss Pappas, and you're watching Concrete Wave.
I've been coming here for maybe 12, 15 years. It's one of my favorite places to skate.
Growing up snowboarding, from moguls to this is a lot alike. It's like
concrete hips, they're just like snow to me. So when I was young, I thought, I guess this is what skate parks are supposed to look like.
I was walking past one day and I just couldn't believe it that something like this would exist. It was just amazing that you could like surf the concrete. And I'd never seen anything like it. I'd never skated anything like that, so I just fell in love with the place.
In a lot of ways, it's kind of like Cheers. You show up, you pull up in your car, and everybody's like, Chris, big guy, cuz, whatever, you know, whoever rolls in, and everybody knows each other. They just sit down, skate. The attitude's really good.
The transitions and the transfers from the transition change from hips, and they're used to banks and half pipes and quarter pipes. That's what makes living in North Van unique.
So many good vibes here. Hell, it's all good. You go and you just hop. Yeah, and that ceiling, so good. I'm telling you, friends and family, yeah.
Coming up the hips is a classic way to get up the top, maintain your speed, pump it, even accelerate.
We were visiting a friend whose father happened to be a innovator of urethane products. One of the products that he had played with was a very durable skate wheel. The properties of urethane for a skateboarder and being able to turn very sharply, pretty much put a lot of energy into your turn and not have the skateboard slide. Also, the fact is that the wheels had a tendency to roll over small objects rather than stopping. Clay wheels or hard wheels have a tendency of finding small rocks and catapulting skateboarders over the end of their board. You get the real resiliency, you get the durability. Follow your dreams and make them a reality.
We were down in Vegas, and these mountain boarding kind of caught our eye. There were a lot of demonstrations going on, and some guys were really going off on the boards, and we thought it'd be something cool to add to Silver Star. We're always looking for something up here at the Star to help us out with our summer business and offer something that people haven't seen before. So we rent the boards out of here, and we have a terrain park that's been put together. What we're trying to do is target the snowboarders in the wintertime and which are already our existing client base, and get them up here in the summertime to have some fun too. The other thing that we're going after is the skateboard crowd. Once they go and play on the concrete, they can come up and slide around the dirt and chew a little dirt. It's a lot of fun.
I've been riding the snowboard for 6 years now, and 2 days on the mountain board. It's fun. You fall lots, you know, you're blowing dirt boogers out of your nose and stuff like that, but all in all, it's worth it. A few bumps, a few scrapes, but when you get your buds up here, it's all a good time, definitely.
If you're a hardcore snowboarder and into, advancing, this mountain boarding is like your summer sport right next to wakeboarding. I think it's great, man. It's like I skateboard and wakeboard, and this is just right up there, you know. As soon as you learn how to turn the board, everything in the air is the same, you know. You can do your grabs, your tricks. It's an awesome cross-season sport for anyone that does snowboarding or wakeboarding, anything. It's an excellent sport. I could see it going like as far as you want it, because you can always progress on it, right?
Okay, trick tip is nollie frontside heel flip. Put your feet kind of in a duck stance. Nice and triple front. Oh my lord! Put your feet kind of in a duck stance. Pop it quick. And
right, the trick's a 360 flip. Scoop the back foot. Oh. Try to land a little cleaner than that. Scoop the back foot in. Flick lightly with your front foot. Wait patiently until it comes around. Stomp the ass down.
Now a word from Bob Burnquist.
Well, I was born in Rio de Janeiro in 1976, and I got my first board when I was 11 years old. Everyone else had a board. It was like a thing. I mean, if you didn't have a board, you're going to be left behind. You know, everyone else is skating, having fun. So it's like, yeah, I need a board too, so I got it. My dad went out and bought the different parts, and we went home and assembled it together, so it was a cool thing to do, and instead of just buying the whole setup and just giving it to me. The whole scene in Brazil is really separate from what goes on here. We didn't have imported products, so we had to come up with our own products. We had to make boards or wheels or trucks and really low quality, but that's what we had. The streets of Brazil aren't that good at all to skate in. You know, you might find one here or there, like now that there's new developments, but most of the time it's all like really rough and dangerous traffic. You know, it's not like what you see here. So when we first came to the States, we were like, it's a living skate ground. Every time I go back, I see a lot more skateboarders around. And every time I go back, I'm recognized in a lot more places. Sometimes it's, you know, just walking around Brazil, people, hey, you're like, oh man, like, you know, it's crazy. I definitely had a lot of heroes like every other kid. Lincoln Ueda was one of them. This one other kid called Leo Caquinho. Kind of like Sean today, you know, you see Sean White, he's like the little kid that's at the park and skating amazingly good. So when you're a little kid, you relate to that kid, you know, you're like, wow, he's amazing. And I can skate like that too. As far as American pros, Danny Way and Colin McKay. Tony, I mean, always, you know, because Tony's always been amazing. I know that right now I'm making the money, I'm at the peak of my career, you know, I mean, I don't know if I'm at the peak or I'm going with it, but I know that now's the time and anything can happen.
What's up? This is Willie Santos, and you're watching Concrete Wave.
To do a switch heel flip, you want to come up switch, kick your board with your heel, and land it. With your heel and land it. To do a nollie heel flip backside, you want to do like a nollie backside, but flip with your heel.
I was a teaching pro at Sidewalk Surf Park in Fountain Valley back in '76, I believe. And Ralph Zaransky captained Biorhythm. asked me to try out for the Pepsi team. This is one of the skateboards I used. It actually came in pairs, made by Grantech back in 1977, I believe. And I had one under each arm, and I would do a handstand on top of this one, and my other hand would have the other one. I should have had the other one out here. And I could actually gyrate and get myself going, go through cones or whatever back then.
It was great times. I was still in high school, and being able to skate demos and make money, it was great. This is the wheel that eventually became the spinner that I had my own signature wheel in 1979. My 360s, when I got a hold of these, went up. They doubled overnight, and it was great to be able to have the equipment and get paid for it. This is exactly what my 360 board is. This is my freestyle board. If you wanted to make this a 360 board, you would use narrower trucks in the back for a tighter radius where you're turning. And basically, it's the same board as this. I have a fleet of them.
The impact this park will have in Calgary will be tremendous. This is the first day we've had it formally opened. But I think the word's going to spread next week, and through the media and through all these hundreds and thousands of skaters will be telling all their friends this will be the place to come and skate.
Yeah, I think what they've done is incredible. I mean, I haven't seen another city that's matched this before.
This is going to affect Calgary greatly. Lots of people are going to move down here just because of this. It's world class.
Well, now we're looking over the Central Skate Park, which is on my left. Includes like a 6-foot half pipe, lots of mid-sized rails and ledges, and good starting points, lots of speed, technical stuff, street to whatever. Over on the right, we go into the intro park. So we got some beginner style stuff, some low rails, low ledges, nice mellow banks, little pyramid in the center. And it's a zoo out there. I can't believe how many people showed up today. But that's what it's for. It's just for everybody to skate, something if you want to get started, something if you're going to go for it, and then you work your way up to the expert, if you're ready. This is the largest full pipe built for skateboarding. The action's going to be crazy. We got Salva and Lance Mountain, a few of the old dogs here. It's going to be good today.
What brought me out here was just actually someone showed me a photo of this full pipe on the internet, saying they're building a full pipe in a park. And there hasn't been a full pipe built in a park since the 70s, so I wanted to come check it out. And this one's pretty big. It's hard to ride. It's massive.
Pipe is kind of too big. I mean, it's killer, and it takes some getting used to, and hope they can fix it a little bit and make it a little bit better. But it's just so damn big. I mean, we're like struggling to even like get a little bit past halfway. So I'm stoked to be here. Stoked Hurley set me up here and having fun. Stoked to be in Calgary.
This place is giant. It's really the scale of stuff being built in California would fit in this area, and it's appealing to everybody from beginner all the way to advanced, and it's going to allow kids to grow where most of the stuff in California stuff is going to hinder them and they're going to lose interest. And here I don't think they'll lose as much interest, you know, because their skill level can grow with this park.
Hi, I'm Michael Brook. You're watching Concrete Wave. I'm going to show you some old school tricks. They call these tricks old school tricks because anybody born in the 1960s or 70s are the only ones who are practicing them. You really have to remember that once the ollie came about, it kind of took away from a lot of these flatland tricks, but they're still kind of fun to do. Here's the first one I'm going to show you. It's called an old school kickflip. If you're goofy foot, like I am, your left foot leans. Your right foot hooks under, like so. That's really important. Don't stand like this. Remember always to have your left foot leaning and your right foot hooking. Right foot is in the middle of the board, left foot is on the back. Arms out, you press down with your left foot if you're goofy, and up you go. Here's something called a rail flip. You're up on the side of the board like so, press down the nose, and jump. Here's a 360 on the tail with one foot. It's kind of a fun trick. Arms out, cranking like this, and just spin. Here's the next trick. It's old school nose manual, or nose wheelie as we used to call them, hauled into a 360. Here's how it works. Up on the front nose, arms out, and spin. We'll leave. Officially kicked out at age 36. Dropping in.
Hey, I'm Ollie Johnson. Been snow skateboarding for about 5 years now. It's the greatest sport in the world. Some people say that it's silly, or I should be snowboarding. But, you know, or I could be skateboarding inside in Canada in the winter. But I just love being outside. And it's beautiful. Being out in nature, riding the board, in the snow, what could be better? And I think it's gonna catch on, probably. Snowboarders will come around. They'll see that what they can do in the summer, they can do in the winter. Just because we're in Canada in a northern climate, doesn't mean you can't skateboard. Doesn't mean you can't skateboard in the snow. This stuff is beautiful. It's our friend. Injuries, sometimes you fall down, but mostly the stuff is soft. I mean, it's like puffy water. Smooth. Yeah, I got some dreams about this sport. You know, when the summer comes around and the snow melts, I gotta go up north, kind of follow the birds, I guess, follow the geese. I'm like one of them. Maybe one day, possibly build a park in Alaska or in the Northwest Territories. It's like I come out here in the morning, fresh powder, no tracks, no one's been here. Early bird catches the worm. I've incorporated a little bit of the skiing, the poles. They help you to move around on flat land, on the ice. I got my board. You want to keep the snow off a bit. It gets really slippery. It's good to give it a whack. For the drop in, you want to keep your weight on the back foot. The board will tend to dig in a little bit, so you just gotta get ready and go for it. That was a good one. It's just a standard skateboard. Sometimes the wheels or the bearings will freeze up. Gotta get new ones. New bearings, probably pick them up every day, the end of a long day, go down and get some new bearings, put them in overnight, and, you know, get ready for the morning. All right, guess I'm out of here. Obstacles. Catch you later.
We're going to be watching Shane Hunter, guy in the red shirt, riding his longer board. Backside, melon over the hip, huge, huge. Going in, round the bowl, just missing Chris on the opposite wall. Pumping back up, manual, pumping. Backside, melon over the hip, huge. Going in, round the ball. Pumping back up, manual.
Okay, my name's Wee Willie Winkles, and I'm a skateboard designer and manufacturer. Okay, originally I met a guy out skiing in Whistler, and he had just come back from a surf trip in California, and he brought this Hobie board with precision wheels and bearings. And then I came back to Toronto. I went to try to buy a skateboard with precision wheels, and they didn't have any. So a friend of mine went down to Florida and brought back a set of wheels and trucks. And then we made our own boards. This is one of the first ones I made. Then I happened to meet Lonnie Toft at the Sportsman Show. He gave me a template to make this board, which he went down to California and won the California State Skateboard Championships. The next day, Sims phoned me up and wanted to order thousands of boards. Originally, before I made Sims boards, I made boards like this. Instead of gluing the wedge on the back, I cut it inside, reinforced the front. And these are the Wee Willie trucks, Wee Willie wheels I made with the open bearings. After that, we started making wider boards. This is like a Lonnie Toft wide board. Then I went on to design carbon graphite boards. Then we started making longer boards. This was the Sims model 36-inch board. Then we started making mountain boards to ride down the mountain. These big wheels. And then Lonnie originally designed a board as an 8-wheeler, which I used to land jumping over cars. It's a very wide board. And this is a knee board, very unique design made by Lonnie Toft in California.
My name is Jeff Boudreau, 25 years old, live in Encinitas, California. I've been skating skateboards for about 10 years. I've been riding a longboard for about 4.5 years. The reason I ride longboards is I'm more of a snowboarder slash surfer skater, where I like to take my snowboarding skills and surfing skills and put them into longboard skating, which you can transform those styles and maneuvers on a longboard a little easier than a shortboard. Gives you a little more old school feeling. You know, you get your layback slides down, which helps you when you're surfing, get your abdominal muscles going, and then you got your bigger airs, which mentally help you for snowboarding, which is a good thing. You know, you can practice snowboarding in the summer. I think longboard is definitely picking up in the sense of great cross training for surfing and snowboarding in the communities of different like mountains opposed to the beaches, where skate parks are coming up everywhere as well, so it really helps the longboard community. Living here in Encinitas is really good. We've got the YMCA here, as well as a lot of other cement parks like Carlsbad and Vista that are opening up, which is allowing a lot more longboard skating, which is a flowier cement terrain, kind of like Canadian parks. So longboard skating really adapts to those style of parks because you can do your center stance runs, which is carve around, get your speed, as well as get back on the tail and do your high-tech maneuvers like your ollie grabs and kick flips if you prefer and stuff like that. I think I see longboard skateboarding in the future going more towards a freestyle skating. There are contests evolving for the longboard community, like Kona in Jacksonville, Florida just had their very first longboard contest last year in January, which they're going to have again in March. So they're trying to promote the longboard skating contest, which will include like slalom stuff, cross-country events where you get, you know, timed on the course that they lay out upon the street course. They also have freestyle events, which you can, you know, take different boards in your heat and ride a mini carve, you know, which is a longer board, to, you know, one of your shorter boards, and mix it up like that with different styles, showing on the different boards. How you doing, little man? You having fun? Can I get a high five? All right.
Ready? Yeah. All right, my name's Brad Edwards. We're here at the Ocean Beach Skate Park today. And wanted to show you a few tricks. Probably my favorite trick, the layback grind. On the layback grind is stay loose, relax, and don't push it too hard. Just kind of let it slide and flow. You're gonna drop in, pump, so that you're hitting a front side wall, grind, and throw your tail. Don't push it too hard like that. So that you're hitting a front side wall, grind, and throw your tail. Let's cross. This will be a cross step 50-50. Okay, I'm gonna be trying to cross step 50-50 across this escalator. See what happens. That's just from cross step 50-50s. Often I step a little too far forward, can't get that 1 foot grind. So let's try it again. Grab the tail, throw it down. Tail grab, and step on it.
Breakfast, cornflakes, hard-boiled eggs in the morning. And I always have to have orange juice in the morning.
Steak and eggs.
What I eat for breakfast? I don't eat at all. Look how skinny I am. I don't know, I'm too skinny. I don't eat breakfast. I should eat.
Oh, you got me there. Tea, I'm English.
My favorite breakfast at the minute, they're called peanut bumpers. You get them from Mother's. Yeah, in California, Huntington Beach. My friend Jeff Rowley's got me hooked. And do you know what? They're sticking something in them bumpers. You know, the guy who's made them, he's thinking that guy's going to be back. And I have been. I've been going through a box every 2 days. It's out of order, but they taste good and they're natural, you know? That's my favorite breakfast. I don't know, whatever makes me tick, you know?
My favorite band, oh gosh. I always loved Tribe Called Quest. Yeah, but they're not together anymore, so.
Faith No More, Slayer, Metallica, Suicidal Tendencies, Bad Brains.
Husker Du, Bob Mould.
I like loads of music. I haven't got one favorite band. I like a little bit of metal, I like a little bit of punk, I like a little bit of hardcore, a little bit of rock and roll, a little bit of faster rock and roll, slower rock and roll, a bit of everything. Not really so much hip hop, but I don't mind the old like Public Enemy and that kind of stuff.
I like Mogwai. I like the Orb, old school stuff. I like the Beatles. I like ambience, space music. You know, like Sensefield were good. Yeah, you know.
Hi, my name is Mike. Hamilton. This is Sud Canada. Park's been here for 10 years. We've been open for 12. And we've always had a ramp or some sort. We had an outdoor ramp at our old store. This park's been here for 10 years. Indoor park. The roof leaks when it rains, but it's better than being in the snow in the winter. So mini ramp and a small street course.
This is the Sud Street Course. Got a fly box, another quarter pipe. Pretty good flat bank for trick. Nice big ball ride. Far quarter pipe. A good flat bank with the rail. It's pretty burly.
It starts basically someone with an idea and a little bit of money, throws together some ramps, and that's where it goes from.
Hi, I'm Chris Wood. This is Team Sud. I'm Chris Armstrong. I'm Phil. I'm Dylan Green. Ryan Brown. Mark Pitt.
You ready to go?
Every city should build a cement park for kids that skate. I mean, it's a sport, same as baseball, football. They build stuff for them. Why can't they build skate parks for kids?
I feel like Dan Rogers.
When there isn't much to do in a town, like if you've got nothing to do in your town, no place for the kids to go, they can still always go skate.
Hey boys and girls, I think you got to do a feeble grind. It's basically it's like a 50-50 grind, except your front truck overlaps the obstacle, and you grind on your back truck. And it's a pretty easy trick once you get the feel for it. Walks in real nice on round bars, coping, and pretty versatile. Take it to the street, take it to the ramps. It's good. Little homage to Todd Swank.
Thanks.
get your foot in position, move it up near the back truck so you can balance, set up, get some speed, drop back in, kick that foot off. First thing you gotta do, just get your foot in position, move it up near the back truck so you can balance, set up, get some speed, kick that foot off.
I'm Sluggo in Vancouver, BC, representing the Red Dragons in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada at Molson's DV8. Red Dragons is a group of kids that started skating at Kevin Harris's Richmond Skate Ranch. Sort of like a bunch of guys that mostly ride Powell Peralta boards. Dragon is the main character on the Powell Peralta board, Red Dragon on the top. We all just all got together. It was just a joke at first. And then it just, eventually over the years, we just kept saying it, and people knew us as the Red Dragons. Me, Colin McKay, Moses Conan, Sam Devlin, Ben Nichol, Sam Gabay, Jody Morris, my brother, Peter Sullivan. Then there's all kinds like Steve Caballero, John Cardiel. There's all kinds of people who have been involved with us, but the tight-knit group is basically the four of us, Colin, Moses, myself, three of us, I guess. It's brought us together really tight, and we really care about each other a lot, and that's through skateboarding. We travel all over the world together, which is great, me and Colin especially. Sluggo, I'd only been skating about 3 months, and I didn't look like a skateboarder. I looked like this little, I wore boat shoes, and I'd go to the skate park, and I had a little spiky hair, and I was really short. I'm talking 4'6", and I had no say. Anything the kids said at the park about me is what they said about me. So the best kid at the park goes, "Hey, you look like Sluggo." Because he was the best, everyone's just like, "Yeah, you're Sluggo." And it's stuck. It's been with me for 14 years. As far as inventing tricks, I guess I was pretty much tied for one of the first guys to do tail grab fives, variable reverts, which is a pretty hard trick. Backside 360s, I guess I was one of the first to do 360 airs on vert. And then the one I'm known for the most recently is the backflip on vert, which I'm really, really proud of because I have a gymnastics background. I had 10 years gymnastics when I was a kid. BMXers, inliners, and roller skaters have been doing backflips on ramp for a while, and I knew we could do it, but our board isn't attached and we're not holding onto handlebars, so it was a definite learning curve to learn that trick. And it just took a little bit of balls. When I actually finally went for it, I knew it was possible, and within a couple weeks I landed it. Skateboarding got pretty dead in the early 90s, and I was kidding around with Colin one day saying, "Geez, I should become a pro snowboarder." So I've been up quite a bit to make some extra money. And he's like, "Yeah, I bet you can't do that." And I was like, "Bet you I can." And within a year, I had a pro snowboard. So I won that bet, and it worked out well. This is my last year pro as a snowboarder. I just getting older, and I want to concentrate my last few years that my body has to get beat up on skateboarding. So that's why I made that decision to not snowboard professionally anymore and just continue to skateboard professionally. It's just, you know, skateboarding's all about warm weather, and snowboarding's all about like cold weather. I like warm weather. No, anybody can skateboard. You'll just have your own unique style. That's the raddest thing about skateboarding. It's all about individual sport. You're not depending on a team. You're not depending on anybody but yourself. And you don't need anybody but yourself in a skateboard to skateboard. It's a great thing. Sluggo the Red Dragon. Stay tuned. You're watching Concrete Wave.
Hi, my name is Biker Sherlock. I like to ride. I love to mountain bike. I love to ride my dirt bike. Surfing is my passion. I love hunting the big waves. Basically picked up skateboarding because there wasn't waves all the time. One of my buddies said, hey, grab this longboard, take it up the hill, bro. And I was like, yeah, hang 10, real cool, you know, I ride vert, whatever. And then the next day he said, oh man, take this up the hill. And I took the board up the hill and came down a hill and just got a speed rush, and I was always a speed freak. I started going to the contests, and I kind of went the contest routes. There was a contest in LA a couple years after I hooked up with Dennis from Sector, and he called me up and he said, hey man, there's a contest for downhill skateboarding in LA. And I was like, I'm there. So we went, and that's where I really first got introduced to street luge. Dregs meaning the bottom of the barrel. I thought it was great. We're the worst of the worst, but we're the best of the best. And so we ran with it. I was asked once about the team and what does it take to be on the team. And the team's not about that. The team's really about a friendship. You know, we all live down in San Diego. I mean, we all live, work, surf. I mean, our lives are intermingled.
How did you guys all meet? In a dream.
We all triple podiumed at the Gravity Games, and we've won every event, like, pretty much in the last year. If it's not me, it's Dane or Todd or John. I mean, we're just always on the podium. We dominate the sport.
Some of the luge is caught in slack because they affiliated it or people associated with skateboarding.
Yeah, I was catching slack because I was doing downhill, and I was catching slack from skateboarders. So I say to all those skaters out there, have the same open mind that you want everybody else to have, and check out what we're doing, and if you think you're so bad, go 60 miles an hour downhill and then call me up. I would definitely classify street luge as skateboarding, but at the same time I can see how a purist would say, well, no, it's not. But you know, downhill skateboarding is standing up on a skateboard. It's a lot different than street luge. Anybody can ride a street luge, but not anybody can do this. We have to keep looking to technology to go faster, you know, and Jared Iwanek is one of the team Dregs riders, is an aerospace engineer. He works for Rancho Suspensions, and he actually developed this helmet and makes it.
Each one of these helmets is designed specifically for each rider.
This channel and these little lips create a low pressure system behind.
And these helmets are just phenomenal. This is the winning ticket for sure.
We're also wearing, you know, full leathers.
They're motorcycle leathers. They're custom fit to each rider.
San Diego, baby.
There's two kinds of downhill. There's the bombing, like with this on, where you're trying to make all your corners as fast as possible. And then what we also do is just like carve skating, where we're going back and forth and sliding, putting our hands down with like Cliff Coleman gloves on and sliding on the hard plastic. I mean, that's insane. That's how you kind of learn, and you lead up to going 65 miles an hour standing up, or, you know, 80 miles an hour laying down. Street luge, you know, is on like one of these boards over here, this long 8-foot aluminum board.
Long piece of aluminum with wheels on it. Basically a long skateboard. They range in size between how much you weigh and how tall you are. You ride it like a skateboard, but you're laying down, so it's a lot faster. It's a lot more responsive to turning, and it's good fun.
Luge is gnarly. We're going down a hill that's 50 or 60. They're going down at, you know, it's 70 or 80 or 60 or 70. It's definitely 10 miles an hour faster. It's gnarly.
What I'm doing is just kind of working my body back and forth. Starting to pick up a little bit of speed. And in this section, we're going to pick up a lot of speed.
In the future, you know, you're going to just see the Dregs guys on the podium all the time. I mean, Gravity Games, X Games. Hopefully, I think the X Games will add downhill skateboarding next year.
Skateboarding. Whether you're out doing flip tricks, you know, riding half pipes, you know, any kind of skateboarding, it's all about fun.
It's all the kids out there if you're going to get into it. Just whether you're going to be downhill skateboarding or skating in the park or whatever, respect your environment. You know, just take from it what you need, protect yourself, and just know your limits.
Hey, we're Team Dregs.
You're watching Concrete Wave, so stay tuned.
This board right here is from the 60s, and it's solid plexiglass. It had a light in the tail. When you turned it on, the whole board glowed this orange color. And the wheels say Knight Rider. It's called the Knight Rider. It's one of my favorite boards. This is another Hobie, brand new, in the box. We got the box for it right here.
pretty rare to find them in the box. There's the start right there. Roller skate, made into a scooter, handles. This one actually was used by the clowns in a circus in Texas. I think it's from the early 60s. Steel wheels. Typically these came from roller skates, Union roller skates. This looks like it was the front, and this looks like it was the back. And what they did is a pair of skates was good for 2 scooters or 2 skateboards. 1 pair of skates could go for you and your buddy. This scooter right here, I don't know if you can see it, but it had a little toolbox built onto the back where you could put your lunch or a soda or something. Thought that was pretty bitchin'. Here's another example where they took the handle off, and it's still a roller skate. You can see the front compared to the back. On this one, this was a strap-on roller skate where they had to take the part that went around your heel and flatten it out so they could get it to nail onto the board. It's held together with a couple nails and a couple screws. I'd say this one's from the late 50s. So that was pretty typical. I think that was typical for a while. I think a lot of people actually used a 2x4 instead of just a piece of wood like this. You know, there's a whole bunch. I bet there's 100 different boards that I call the red boards, that are all red boards and are small metal wheel boards. They might say surfer or, you know, sidewalk surfer, but they're all red and they all had metal wheels. So this kind of, I think, started a trend where everybody jumped on the bandwagon after that. It just seems like this is the most popular with the parents now. Like whenever a mom comes in, this is the one they always say they had. And I think part of the reason was they made like 500,000 of them or whatever it was. Probably any collector, skateboard collector's got this board. This is one of the very first production boards where it was actually sold as a skateboard. The Ski Skater. This is from 1962. Bomac, Santa Monica. It's actually a clay wheel or a composite wheel. Not much better than the metal. I mean, maybe a little bit more forgiving, but still not much better. And these are when the trucks became adjustable. Usually with a screw here, you could adjust the tension. This board, they put the grooves in here for traction before grip tape. Kind of cool. Fleetwood, I think it's called. Have a good example here. This is a pretty rare board. It's called the Sidewalk Surfboard. And it's got the clay wheels, which are the composition wheels. They were crummy. A lot of times they would vibrate so much your foot would fall asleep, or they would get so hot, or you'd hit a rock, or they'd get so old that they'd just explode. In our collection, we have many boards that are brand new, that are old like this. And I think it's because somebody got hurt on it, and the mom said, never again are you gonna ride that board, and she shoved it in the basement, and it sat there for 30 years. So I really think there was a lot of broken arms on some of these old boards here in the collection. I owe a lot to these crummy ball bearing wheels because so many times you see a board that's 3 out of the 4 wheels are good, and that's what preserved the board. And what that tells me is the kid used it, the bearings fell out of the wheel, he never used it again. This is a good one. This is a Saturn. This is a garage door company that made these in the Midwest. With the scrap wood, they turned them into skateboards. This was a typical 70s board. I love this board because it's just basic. It's just a solid oak Logan with Bennett trucks, which were big time trucks. I guess there's one guy, Frank Nasworthy, who's credited with inventing the urethane, which was a much more pliable material. It could go over rocks, bumps, cracks, which was part of the problem before, which made it unsafe. You hit a rock with a clay wheel or a metal wheel and you're on the ground. And I just thought this was a cool board. It just kind of, to me, said everything about the 70s. Also, the Road Rider 2 is the very first precision bearing wheel. And these are the bearings that are still used today. I mean, basically. This is also mint Quicksilver. This represented the weight. 50 kilograms. If you were 160 pounds, you'd get the 50 kilogram. If you were heavier, you'd get the 90 kilogram. It went on your weight. It had a reverse camber to it, so you could really throw your weight into the turns. After that, the boards started to get good, as I call them. And when I mean good, they got wider and were more stable and easier to ride. They were the first boards that were really rideable and functional. They were nice and wide, had a good kicktail, and they actually, some of them started to get a little concave, like the Triplanes and the Shogo Cubas. They had a little concave to them, and even a little nose. I think this was sort of the beginning of the good boards. And as a collector, these are the hardest boards to find because they were good to ride, and they got thrashed, and they got ridden into the ground. Yeah, I love them all. Serious. This is my whole life, is doing this stuff.
right now I'm going to drop in and do some very basic tricks. All right, drop in. Basic trick. Pumping across the flat. 50-50. Forward slide. That's a fakie hang up. 5-0 pivot. Dropping in. Backside air. 360 mute burial.360 mute burial.
Hi, my name is Mike Pregnell, and I'm not wearing a shirt. Buy Skateboard Canada Video Magazine, and stay tuned to Concrete Wave.
Hey, I'm Tony Hawk. You're watching the Concrete Wave. Stay tuned.
What?